Yeah, I'll give Coach Driscoll and his group a lot of credit, man. It's no secret they've had their fair share of adversity this season. Just a myriad of things that have happened, and injuries and the coaching change, and for them to still hang in there and still fight this thing all the way out, I think is to be commended. On our end, felt like we had some opportunities early in the first half, and felt like we probably should have had an opportunity to be up a little more than just 3 in the first half, when they were kind of trying to find their footing, and we just couldn't make the plays necessary. And then you give a team like that some hope and some life, and they still have some talented players, and the sense of urgency and desire to win the game, I felt like shifted to them early in that second half, and they made all the hustle plays, and they made all the physical plays, and that resulted in what got us in the hole that we were in.
From your perspective, what was the difference in that 19-0 run that they went on?
Yeah, just that. I thought the urgency with which they were playing with to beat us to loose balls, there was a lot of plays, but I thought the play was symbiotic of us in that second half when McGriff blocked our pass and we had 5 or 6 feet in front of him to go get the loose ball, and he beat us to that loose ball and then made a tough finish at the end of it. I thought that play symbolized that entire stretch, and in a lot of ways that was the difference in the game.
What did you notice, between the first time you guys played them and the playing tonight?
Wasn't a whole lot different, honestly. McGriff's physical impact on the game and the rim presence was certainly different. He didn't play in the first game, but in a lot of ways we were very fortunate to win the first game we played them. We were down late, not this big of a hole, but we were down late inside 4 minutes, and we were able to make a couple plays down the stretch. And tonight we weren't.
Have you noticed anything just scouting this over K-State over the last few games, just the difference between right now and maybe back then?
I think the biggest thing that jumps out is probably Nate Johnson's aggressiveness. He's been uber aggressive late, and I think came into this one averaging almost 20 points a game during that time period. And like I said, McGriff didn't play in the first game, but the big fella did, Buka. But I thought McGriff's activity and physicality and his layup making ability was a separator today. Then that was different in the first one.
Yeah, Coach, I assume when you went through scout, you were thinking P.J. Haggerty was going to play. How does this team kind of change when he's not on the court?
Yeah, it gives other people opportunities to step in to some situations. I thought C.J. Jones stepped in and made a couple threes today. Like I said, McGriff probably got more opportunities around the basket. P.J. does such a good job of initiating offense and drawing fouls, and he's such a tough cover. Even with him, if we were a team that could easily get to like in the 80s offensively, then maybe you would feel a little bit better about him not playing, because you maybe would feel like they just don't have enough offense to keep up. But when you can be offensively challenged at times like we are, it can be a close game. And like I said, the first game was very close, and anticipated that. And like I said, and I did feel like early on in the first half and kind of throughout that first half, I felt like we had some opportunities to get a little separation. Maybe the game's different in that point, but we couldn't. Again, you give them and not give them. I mean, they took it. They took the ball from us to start the second half. They made the physical plays. So in a lot of ways, you deserve what you get, and they made the tough physical plays, and that's why they were in the position that they were in. But there were some opportunities in the first half that we left on the board offensively that maybe you have a little bigger cushion than just 3 at the first half. Thank you, guys.